The following presentation is brought to you through the meaningful relationships created through NotaryStars.com. Notary Stars is the only notary training platform and resource library offering 150 plus hours of training on every aspect of a signing agent's career, including over 35 different loan products. Oh, and their loan signing agent training is available in both English and Spanish. Members of Notary Stars are definitely dedicated to signing agent excellence, together with partners like the Remote Online Notary Network, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary. Notary Stars strives to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without over-fabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support Notary Stars or the Remote Online Notary Network, please consider liking this video, subscribing to their channels, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member of either site and trusting them to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Well, hey there, friends. You have officially landed at Monday General Mentorship. My name is Beth Hathoot, and as always, we're thrilled to have you join us tonight for a very special occasion. This actually is our last session for just a couple of weeks, just a little bit, as we're going on summer break for 2 weeks. So beginning the 4th of July, we'll be on break and returning on the 21st of July. That's 2 weeks. But all of our support lines, our phone and email, is still available for our Notary Stars members. Just no classes or special events like tonight for the next 2 weeks. So please have a really happy and safe 4th of July holiday. Every Monday is jam-packed with information for everybody, but tonight is extra special and I'm really excited about it. We'll be presenting the first annual Notary Star of the Year award. Now, this award goes to a very special notary who not only embodies the Notary Stars philosophy, but is unmatched in competence and in commitment to his or her community. You see what I did there with the pronouns? I don't want to give away who it is just yet. But this notary also has a heart of gold. Stay tuned, as that award ceremony is scheduled for the second half of our program tonight. As we get ready for our session, I just wanted to let you know something else that we're planning, and that's a free training, I almost said training webinar for NSAs who are wondering what makes us different and how we prepare you to be an exceptional notary at the signing table. This is scheduled for Monday, July 28th, and that's at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You must register to attend this free training, and we'll post that link in the chat for you tonight. So unlock some valuable insights and register now to reserve your seat. We'll post that link in the chat for you. Miss Amy, there you are. You're double dutying. There you go. I see you. I heard that Remote Online Notary Network had a really super successful launch this past Friday. Can you tell us a little more about that?
It was awesome. Hundreds of notaries attended the Zoom and even more joined, and it was phenomenal. We've been going crazy over the weekend between doing that and getting up here to do this. So if you are still interested in the Remote Online Notary Network, now is definitely the time to join. We will be going through and dealing with all of the onboarding and getting more communication out to you in the next coming days. And Ronnie and I decided we were going to leave that promo code for the Pioneer account. You get a huge discount for an annual subscription if you use the code RONN, RONN, launch for the annual Pioneer account. If you are a Notary Stars marketing member, you do not need the Pioneer account. You just need the Explorer level. But I hope to see you all on there. I am super stoked that everybody's going to have a wonderful time with this new white label aspect of a RON platform. And now, Ronnie.
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, the response has been overwhelming. It's actually the biggest thing that we've ever done in terms of Notary Stars. We've been around for a long time. Friday was actually the biggest all in. Like people were like, we're going to do this. When it comes to the dynamic websites and being able to reach, locally, nationally, internationally as notaries. No one else is doing this, and everyone has the ability to do it. We are, a little apologetic. We went from Friday with such a huge launch to getting on planes and getting to where we are right now. You guys notice that I'm with Amy for the first time. I've met her for the first time. We've been working together for years now. Together for the first time to present an award tonight. But I want to remind you that, this is not just about remote online notary. With these dynamic websites, you can sell hospitals, jails, local services. You can go nationally with Apostille. You can go nationally with document translations. And Gabriel will be here a little bit later tonight to remind you of that. There's so much that can be done. And this is going to lead into Kirsten's marketing tip for the week. Just a little reminder to tune into her class on Tuesday. If you're like, oh my God, I have no idea what these people are talking about, Kirsten's class on Tuesday is a really great way to get an introduction to what a dynamic web page is and how it can serve your business. We are definitely in 2025. The way that we advertise is different now, and we all have to stay abreast on what is coming and what the internet expects of us. And the beauty of everything is we are no longer confined to just our little local bubble. We can advertise nationally. We can do things internationally now from the comfort of our own home. So with that said, Miss Beth, let's get tonight rolling, because I know we got questions. I know we got a guest, and we have an award to present. If you guys can, we've been posting in the chat. Make sure to take that little invitation that I just posted now. Invite another notary, because this is going to be history. This is the first time in 6 years that we've ever nominated someone as the Notary Star of the Year. This is Notary Star history right here.
All righty, we've got some questions on our jot form that we need to get to tonight, but guys, don't be afraid to raise your hands. If you're in the chat, if you're watching, we have 142 people on right now. If you have a question, a burning question that you need answered, go ahead and raise your virtual hand, get in line. We're going to start with the jot form questions first. Mr. Manuel, if you will, would you like to read that first question for us?
Of course. Hi, everyone. Mr. Ronnie, this question, the very first question is for you. It came from Lachanda. I'm in a more up-and-coming area of Florida, and I keep hearing people talk about Apostille. However, I am not sure if I could do it or not. The SOS office is pretty far from me, so I don't know if people would be interested in paying me to drive to the SOS office or even shipping fees. Do you think that everyone should do apostilles, or is it just hype?
You're muted, Mr. Ronnie.
Sorry there. I didn't want to have the feedback there. So I'm probably the biggest skeptic when it comes to Apostille. Am I in the right area? Should I do this? The answer is yes. So let's just start there. No matter where you are, you should offer Apostille as a notary. It's a service that you can offer. Here's where the answer becomes kind of like a split road. Okay, yeah. Are the people in my area going to be able to afford this? Well, the answer is they're going to find the money, because when you need an apostille, you either need someone to guide you through the experience, either ship it to the Secretary of State for you, or you need someone to run it down to the Secretary of State. You can use runners, you can use shipping as a part of your network, in which we built into the Notary Star network, by the way. At the marketing level and on remote online notary network, you now have a network of runners and apostille agents that come from Judy Lawrence, that come from John Nelson, that come from people that I've worked with at Unlimited Inc., all under one roof. So you can kind of see, and we are doing the state nuances. It doesn't matter where you're located. When somebody needs an apostille, they need an apostille. And if you don't help them, someone else is going to. So state your claim in your local area, become that person who can help them. And yes, absolutely, every single person on this call, every person watching the replay, can become an apostille agent, whether you're a facilitator or an apostille agent, go for it.
Awesome. Good answer.
Thank you, Mr. Ronnie.
We did have a hand up in the gallery and it went somewhere. Maybe you answered their question. So let's go back to the jot form. And unfortunately, Manuel, I'm going to read this question because it's for you.
Thank you, Ms. Beth.
This one says, would you share tips on learning and building general notary work?
Well, for this question, I can probably spend about, I want to say about 20 minutes, but I'm just going to be brief and just tell you what worked for me when I first became a notary, and that was education. Education first, for me, was the key. I cannot tell you how many jobs I turned down because I didn't know what I was doing, right? So to answer this question, education first. Learn about your state laws. That would help you become a confident notary. Get training. Of course, we would love to have you here at Notary Stars, right? Also, if this person is looking on how to build like clienteles, right? And she or he is focusing on loan signings, right? So Notary Stars, we train in more than 30 loan files. Second thing I would suggest is to attend to community events, local events. But this is once she or he already has knowledge about how to do the work, right? And then third, and I'm going to have Ronnie actually elaborate on the last one, is have a website or also a Google business. Mr. Ronnie, would you?
Absolutely. So let me tell you guys, there's a lot of, I'm going to do this, okay? I know we have a lot of people tuning in and a lot of people watching the replay because they want to know who the Notary Star of the Year is. But we have a lot of people who say that they teach marketing or they teach Google My Business or they teach websites. A stellar website or an interstellar website is what you need. I actually have those credentials. I work with Wix.com outside of the notary industry to help people, not just notaries, achieve their business goals. You have to have an internet presence. And in my marketing class, I don't just teach you about websites or Google My Business. There's all sorts of tips and tricks. Kirsten's going through them every week. You have to have an internet presence that dominates. I hate to say this, but Britney Spears actually had a Vegas show that was going to come out called Domination. And I wish she would have actually had that because I could like play that music every time we talked about the internet, because that's what it's like. You have to be able to be on every single corner of the internet. And Beth was even asking in our team meeting today, how are we going to handle the AI returns today? And I was like, we got you, Beth. Kirsten and I were like, we've already been talking about that in the marketing courses. So Manuel, you're right. You have to have an internet presence like never before. And the reason for that, guys, is go to YouTube, type in how to become a notary. You're going to see people that you don't know inviting people into this industry left and right. The only way that you're going to be able to compete with them is to have that internet presence and in a good way to like filter out so that you rise to the top. So Manuel, yes, you have to have an I want to say stellar, but at Notary Stars we say interstellar presence.
Then just to add one more thing. So last week somebody contacted me from Florida, right, for an apostille. And I'm like, how is this client contacting me? He was in Florida, but he needed an apostille for a birth certificate here in the county that I'm in, right? So it turned out that he moved to many, many years ago. And so people not only search for like locally, right? So they can be international, they can be even in Spain, right? And still searching for businesses in the USA. So I was able to orchestrate the apostille order, and I didn't even see the document. I didn't even touch the document, right? I make sure that it was good to go for apostille, but it's just something to think about. That is not the website not only works locally but also internationally, or even statewide or nationwide.
Awesome. Miss Beth, I think we have a guest in the house, and I want to make sure that we get to the big presentation where we have so many people watching. Can you see if Gabriel is ready to come in and talk tonight?
He is here. Gabe, would you like to unmute and give us a little bit of information here on, whoops, I can't unmute you.
I just sent him the request. And Gabriel, before you get started, Kirsten, if you could pin him up. While we're waiting for Gabe to get pinned up, guys, I just want to remind you that if you're interested in apostille, we talk about gateway drugs sometimes on the news. When it comes to apostille, half of the documents that get translated have to be apostilled. So why not catch the customer before they go to get an apostille on it? Become the facilitator for the actual translation, and then help them get it apostilled. I've been doing this now for at least a good 6 months, half-time, or at least part-time. And I have to tell you, 50% of the translations that I'm doing turn into apostilles. So, Kirsten, if you can help me pin up Gabe, because I can't find him.
He's there. He's
He's
ready.
pinned.
Okay, perfect.
Good afternoon.
All
Good
right,
evening.
let's get him talking. Gabe, tell us what we got going on with document translations.
Hey, everybody. Well, Ronnie, thanks so much for having me on. I understand this is an important Monday meeting as well. So congratulations to everybody. And for today, I want to talk about, well, as Ronnie says, a lot of apostille requests are translated and a lot of translation requests are apostille. So that's a big part of what we do, promoting that. So that would be people leaving the country, going abroad for work, going abroad for retirement, or studying, getting married. Lots of different reasons why people would need an apostille. So that's one side of our business. And again, that is a service that you can provide by bundling what you already do as a notary, as an apostille agent, along with a complementary product. What I'd like to briefly talk about today is the opposite, which would be people coming into the country. I've touched on this before on Notary Stars, but I think it's an important thing to mention, especially now. People coming into the US. So what would that be? That would be people coming to the US, just like people needing apostilles leaving, coming to the US for work. They're getting married. They're coming to study. They're coming to retire. They're coming to open a business, whatever it may be. They also need translations, a different type. They wouldn't need an apostille, or at least from us, because the apostille would be done in their country of origin, but they'll need translations and certified professional translations for use with U.S. immigration services so that they can process their paperwork. Now, that's a service that doesn't necessarily always need a notary, but it always has to be certified, meaning that they have to go through a company to do it. They can't just have their uncle do it. They can't have their brother do it. So my suggestion to a lot of people, if you're already building out your website to offer translation services to accompany apostilles, why not also build out your website to promote translation services for people immigrating into the US? So that would be for the department is the USCIS, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services Department. They control green cards, immigration, nationality. Want to focus on that as well. So that way you have people leaving and you have people coming in. And because it doesn't even have to be notarized, it's really a hands-off service for most people. You could upcharge on it, obviously, for your time to coordinate, but it's just another way to diversify the business that you have.
And Gabriel, I just want to chime in on that because we mentioned some words that are kind of nerve-wracking for notaries at the moment. when it comes to immigration, right? A lot of notaries might be thinking, okay, well, this is not the time that I want to get in on immigration forms. And they are absolutely right. There are attorneys, now that I've started so much, we built an entire website dedicated to document translations. And we are working with people who are immigrating from one country to the other. However, in our Instagram on that side, which is certified document translation, we're following a lot of attorneys that are saying, hey, we're being persecuted for doing immigration documents, which may make notaries nervous. When you are facilitating the document translations, you're not getting involved in those immigration documents. You're not extending your neck out for a chopping block there. You are essentially helping the attorneys, the people that are actually doing the work for it. So you're involved in that process and you can become that go-to person for the translation, but you're not putting your neck on the chopping block, so to speak, when it comes to the immigration forms, which there are attorneys out there going, go after the notaries. And I want to make sure that, and I've talked about this in different lights, filing immigration forms as a notary is probably a very dangerous time right now because the attorneys are getting persecuted if they make any mistakes and they're saying, hey, go after the notaries who are doing this illegally. This is different because document translations, they can be for a wedding, they can be for immigration, they can be for all sorts of reasons. And you're so many degrees away from filing paperwork with a court as a document translator or a document translator facilitator. So I want to just kind of make that clear when we use those words like immigration or USCIS, because I know for a fact, if you're following any of the big attorneys right now out on Instagram, they're telling, hey, like, go after the notaries too, but this is not the same thing. So I want to make sure that that's clear for everybody, so that if you're interested in this, that you're not scared to get into it at this moment in history.
Awesome. Good answer. We had actually 2 hands up in the gallery. Do we want to go there next? One put their hand down. Affy's still there.
Yeah, if this is related to Gabriel, let's go ahead and go there. Affy, is this not related? Okay. First of all, let's all give Gabriel our wave. He stops by once a month, and this is the last time we'll see him until we come back from the break. So, Mr. Gabriel, thank you so much. And I just want to say on behalf of the community, thank you so much for all the support you're offering everybody who's getting into document translations. You've been so much support, and they all report back here because we promote them to go to you, and then they turn around and go, he's really awesome. So thank you for being the guy that you are. And since day one, you have been the guy that you said you're going to be. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. And thank you all for the support.
Thanks
so much for having me on.
Before you go, Gabriel, there was a hand up for for Brenda. I wanted to ask her really quickly if her question was for you.
Okay.
Brenda, was your question for Gabriel? I'm looking for your chat or something. Nope, she's good. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to delay you.
It popped in the chat. She said yes. Is that for me or is that for?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
No. Well, I was concerned about Brenda Gadsden, and she said no. Her question was not about translations or apostilles.
Okay. Perfect. Again, thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for being here. All right, Miss Beth, we are getting close. We got about 10 minutes before we announce the Notary Star of the Year. We are now at 183 viewers. We're going to go ahead and go to some questions and then get going.
Miss Affy, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Sure. Good evening, everybody. Mine's going to be quick, and it's for you, Beth. I'm sorry to take us back. You said something about a free training on the 28th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
28th of July, free training. It's going to be on a loan file, probably a new construction file.
Okay, you don't have to be a member, yeah?
You do not have to be a member. This
Okay.
is so that everyone who wonders what makes Notary Stars so special and so different and so in-depth in those loan signing packages, this will give everybody a sneak peek as to what they'll get if they are a member.
Okay, I have a few people that I wanted to send it to, but I wanted to make sure it was free first. That they didn't have to be members. Thank you.
100% free.
Okay.
Righty. Manuel, we probably have time for another question from the jot form if you want to pick us up there.
Yes, Ms. Beth. This question came from Maricela S., and this question is for Mrs. Amy. I am new to RUN and want to know how to market across the US, not just locally. I have a website, a Google business page, and a Facebook business page.
Okay, those are a great start, but they're only going to focus on your general community within a certain radius. I mean, at Google My Business is for a physical location. It's kind of like a signing service. They're only going to send you work if they're looking for you in that area. You really need to get that dynamic website. You need to get ads nationally and internationally, quite honestly, because the people that you're looking for, the target audience, are the people that are not in your backyard. So the more you expand your advertising, the more direct clients you'll get for online notarization. The person that lives down the street is going to say, just come down here. That's what I'm used to. The person that lives 3 states away is going to be like, what, you can't hop a plane? And they're not going to pay for you to fly a plane and go there, you know? So you got to limit that exposure to the people that you can't physically get to. And once you open the doors to that national advertising, it will definitely change your viewpoint. I will tell you, I started with a national ad across the nation. I didn't have a dynamic website, but I had a dynamic social media presence. I was listed in every state across the nation. And when someone from California called, I said, I simply can't fly to you. It won't work. I can't notarize in California, but I can notarize from here online, and I would get the job done. So you've got to expand your marketing. That is number one.
Awesome. Good advice. One more question, Manuel, and then we are at time. We're getting pretty close to it for our announcement.
Ms. Beth, this question is for you. It came from Amy S. When a signer presents a document that has to be notarized but doesn't have a notarial certificate, so many people ask me which one do I suggest right after I explain it to them and tell them that they must choose one. How do I get people to stop asking me or turning the question back around me?
Lead with that. Just say, I can't choose for you, but here's what I can do. You can have this or this or this and explain what each of those certificates do, and tell them they have to choose. Just lead with that. If you're starting out with that, you're setting that expectation, telling them they have to choose. Here's what they mean. Please choose. I'd be happy to take care of that for you.
Video off.
And Mr. Ronnie, are we ready, or we're going to take one more question from the gallery? I don't know what, I'm so excited here. I don't know what to do.
I'm so ready. I do want to. Amy's over there getting everything ready, so I'm going to get prepared because we don't want to mess up the award. So I'm gonna surgically get ready, and I'm gonna say a few words. Yep, I'm wearing surgical gloves because the award's so pretty. We're not putting fingerprints on it. Miss Beth, thank you so much. And just so you guys know, we were thinking like, how are we gonna do this so we don't make a mess of Miss Beth's hard work? So we got surgical gloves to be able to even touch this award because it's that beautiful. Some of you might have seen a preview of it on Instagram earlier. I want to say a few words before I walk over to present this. So 6 years ago, we started Notary Stars. And 6 years ago, it was just me harping on the internet. You got to do this job right. You know, we hear all this stuff on the internet. And then it evolved into 10,000 notaries throughout the country who are on the same page about being dedicated to signing agent excellence. But initial principles of Notary Stars, and I'm going to share this little personal story. About 5 years before Notary Stars, I posted on the internet, I said, wouldn't it be great if there was a place that we could go and get training and answer the questions and list our business and refer one another? And you would have thought that I had said a really bad word on the internet. And I woke up the next morning to the most biggest hate speech of ever. We already have 123 Notary. Who do you think you are? Why do we need to listen to you? You just want money from notaries. And I literally put Notary Stars to bed. I never even thought of the name yet. And it was another 5 or 6 years when I had to create Notary Stars because there were so many people coming on YouTube saying, make 6 figures and do all these things, but they weren't giving enough information. And part of Notary Stars, what we wanted to do was create a circle that you could come in, learn something, go to another circle, learn something else. And have we been perfect at that? Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you right now, I know that Laura B was on the call, and a couple of, not even a year ago, I posted something that might not have been great for their group because I am passionate about what's going on. But Laura and I have a great relationship, and people like to pin trainer against trainer in this industry for some reason. And I look out at the community, and I am so grateful for you guys that have been with us and those of you that are going to find us. And this year we were nominated as influencers, I say quotations. And as I listened to them present the award, it was about how many people followed you. And I thought, well, that's stupid because I can buy followers. And in fact, most of the people that are nominated for that buy their followers. We were the only people who didn't. So I started looking out at the community and I thought, really, who's out there? And I really started looking at what we embody here at Notary Stars and what we've always meant to be. We've always meant to be kind of like a clover leaf on an interstate. You come in, you take a little bit, you take it back to another city, you bring it back, you help each other. And that was the initial purpose. And as I looked across the country, I started looking into notaries who not only attend Notary Stars, but they attend other trainings and that they care about the notary community. And we really zeroed in on someone very, I think, ideal for this very first award. Someone who you guys have heard it a million times by now, or not a million, but 5 years times, however many days a week we're on. We always say, reach back and take somebody along with you. And this year, we decided that the very first Notary Star of the Year award should go to somebody that not only jumps into Notary Stars, but to Bill Soroka, attends Notary Academy if they have interest in that, who has their own group of notaries that they present the information that they learn. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. I've reached out to this person for advice, shipping label information, running a multi-million-dollar company. And some people might say, oh, well, they're smaller than you. I don't think so. There's no business owner that's bigger or smaller than the other one. We're all on different journeys on how we want to run our businesses. And when I speak to this person, I see someone who's equal to me. I see someone who cares about the community. I see someone who cares about their business. And so I'm about to walk over and present an award tonight that does not mean that they're better than anyone else. It's because they put themselves amongst everyone else. Okay. So Kirsten, if you can start to pin up the Notary Star of the Year, and I'm going to head over to present this award to the Notary Star of the Year. I'm just to make sure you can get her pinned up here tonight.
Don't know which one she's using.
She has two.
I got her.
So, Miss Alicia, I would like to crown you the first ever Notary Star of the Year. And let me tell you why. You have embodied what we say that we should be doing. And I have chills as I say this because I don't do it. And I'm going to get a little teary-eyed. When we say reach back and take somebody with you, there has been this chip on our shoulders to compete with other trainers, to be something greater. It's like Brittany and Christina out there. And here you are in this wonderful office, Rainbow Wedding Chapel. You said, I'm going to marry everybody in the sun. You are bringing notaries along with you. And I want to give you this award tonight because you've done better than I have at creating a network, creating a safe environment. And I want you to continue. I want everybody that watches Notary Star to go out and find Celicia Young Jones. And I'm going to give you this award because she's done one better than Notary Stars ever tried to do. And I'm looking for the next Notary Star after Celicia because let this be a beacon. This woman really cares about other people and has shown me back to the light. You've been my shining star. It's easy to get lost. So I want you to take this award and if I ever get too big for my britches, I want you to shine it or hit me over the head with it.
This is so incredibly beautiful. And I am so incredibly humbled and honored that when you called me a couple of months ago to tell me about this, I just absolutely could not believe it. And I'm probably going to start crying too. One of the things that I've learned as being a notary and having a network is that a rising tide does lift all boats. And it is collaboration over competition because collaborators win and competitors are down there scrapping amongst themselves. And it's about getting the job done. It's about helping the client. It's about being that person that they're going to look back to again and say, well, she didn't do the work for me, but she handed it over to Michelle and Michelle got it taken care of. And, you know, that's really what it's about, is serving our clients with a humble heart and to get the job done. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am incredibly honored to be the very first inaugural Notary Star of the Year. Thank you so very much.
We also want to bring you this.
Thank you, Ronnie. Oh my God. Thank you, everyone.
All right. I want to see some.
Oh, there's
love
stars.
from
Wow.
Celicia tonight.
Thanks. Yeah, he told me this before I went to the notary conference, and it was like I had to keep my mouth shut. And it was like that was a really big, hard task. That was a hard task, a really hard task. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks, my guests, for coming tonight. I'm so honored that you've taken your time out for me. And as I always say, if you need something, give me a call.
Absolutely. And Miss Alicia, tell everybody, we're going to be releasing your video all about your journey as a notary. Tell everybody about the Rainbow Roundup that you do every Monday before Notary Stars.
Before Notary Stars, we just happen to do it on Monday night called Rainbow Roundup. And so the people that are on our team here in Florida, we get together and it's sort of just a check-in to see how we're doing. It's sort of like a mini TNT. It's like a mini Notary Stars Monday night where, you know, what did you learn this week, or what scam did you detect, or, you know, what's your question about an apostille? Because we have notaries that have 5 minutes worth of experience, and we have notaries with 25 years worth of experience, and everybody brings something to the table and everyone shares and we learn from one another. And the great thing is we have a little WhatsApp where if somebody needs a quick question answered and doesn't have time for an NNA, you know, hotline question, you know, we really can get it answered pretty quickly, you know, between the 20 of us that are on there.
And guys, I just want to tell you, you can't see the entire office here, but I just want to brag on you. She's actually given me a business idea. She really focuses on weddings. right here at this office. And you guys can't see it, but there's a stand up where you can get married, and the courthouse is right around the corner.
Location, location,
I
location.
think she should franchise this business, and I think I'm probably going to be one of the first ones to help. I've been talking to Travis about it. I think that you should keep going with what you're doing. She marries everybody under the rainbow.
Everybody, yeah.
And I just have to say this, being gay and all. I love that Rainbow Notary Nuptials
Exists.
exist, and that you're the first Notary Star. And this was not planned, everybody. The last day of Pride Month, you got this award. And she did not get this award because of being Pride Month or gay or anything. You got this award because you are Celicia Young Jones.
Wow.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. Thank you so much. When he said he was going to fly in, I was just like, wow, shocked. And then Michelle came walking in the door today and she said, I'm here to get my peaches. She came from Fort Lauderdale, and I have several friends here. Even my girlfriend's here tonight. So it's a great thing.
All right, everybody, send some love in the chat for Miss Alicia. We're going to wrap up for the rest of the night. Kirsten, if you want to get us back to the
Hey,
chat.
Tiffany, give me a call.
904 Rainbow.
That's it. 904 Rainbow is my phone number. That's right. 904 Rainbow.
All right, Kirsten, what's next?
That I don't know.
Well, he said to wrap it up, and I got the outro, so I'm going to go on cue here, I believe. All right, it's getting a little loud here, so if you can't hear me, I'm sorry. I do have a loud voice, so I'll yell. So everybody, if you're not driving, you're not eating, turn your cameras on. Come on, we got 170 plus in here. Let's show Celicia some love tonight and put your hands up. Let's give the wave. Thank you all for joining. And remember, if your network determines your net worth, just imagine what you could accomplish if your network was all inclusive. We're talking training, we're talking in your business, and we're talking in your life. I meet tons of friends, and I absolutely love the community that we have, and I wouldn't have it without every single one of you. So thank you all for joining, and we can't wait to see you again in 3 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.